The reason I know that my dating is very different is because in my early 20s, like this is what I went backpacking through Europe. Right? I went backpacking through Europe and I landed myself, I was in the Greek islands, right? I was in an island called Mykonos. Now I've got to say that you could be the most Christian, conservative, Catholic person, but you go to the Greek islands and you turn into a dirty bitch, right? And I was like, but this is when I was 20 and I was very different, like, because, you know, I was like, oh my God, like I'm traveling the world solo, I'm totally eat, pray, loving the shit out of life right now, it's amazing. And I was there. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I remember I was walking along the beach, taking it all in. I was like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. I was like looking at the beautiful moonlight shimmering across the water, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so cool. By myself, might I add. And I was there, and then from the distance, I heard this noise, right? And it went a little bit like this. I'll try my best to like replicate it for you guys. It went like this. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh fuck, oh yeah. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And I turned to look to the beach beds, those beach lounges, you know, the ones you don't want to sit on because you're scared you'll catch something, those beach beds, right? And I look over and what do I see? A couple in their like early 30s just absolutely going for it doggy style, right? He's like, oh yeah, oh yeah. And she's like, oh yeah, oh yeah. And I think they were Canadian, but I'm not sure. Or German, I don't know, I'm still trying to work it out, right? Was it a hard yeah or a soft yeah? I don't know, yeah, right? But they were absolutely going for it. And I remember looking at both of them, I was super judgmental. I was like, oh my God, that is disgusting. Like, ew, like what, like why would you do that out here in public like that? Like that is so gross. Like what kind of life choices lead someone to do that? Like that is so gross, girl. Like you need to start listening to some Beyonce, get that self-respect, self-dignity up in there. Like that is so gross. Okay, and I was like so angry and I was like, you know, you're ruining my night, ruining everyone else's night with that slapping sex noise there. Like they're so gross, it's echoing here. Disgusting, right? Get yourself some self-respect. Disgusting. Get yourself a hotel room. Disgusting, gross, ill. And I walked away. Got a kebab and went to bed, right? It's the best night of my life. Now, last summer, I went to the Greek islands, right? And I was there in a little place called Santorini, or as me and my best friend like to call it, Santorini, am I right? Super fun. And we were both there getting over our respective fuckboys. You know the fuckboy, they exist here in Vancouver, right? Yeah? It's like fuckboy, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Run away, ladies, run away. And we were there, and we were having the best time, and we went out to a bar one night, and it got to about like 3 o'clock in the morning, and we met Irish guys. Now you know this story is going to end badly, right? Because no story ever starts with like, oh, met an Irish guy in a bar, then went home to read the Bible, like that. Story never ends that way, guys. Now, I got to say, there was a good-looking one and a not-so-good-looking one, right? Now, I love my friend. I love her so much, right? She's actually here tonight. She doesn't know I'm telling this story, right? And she turned to me and she's like, Elena, you've been on a long dry spell. And I was like, I know. She's like, no, but like a long dry spell. And I was like, yeah, I know. She's like, but like a long dry spell. And I was like, yeah, I get it, right? It's dry up there. And she turned to me, she's like, it's okay. I'll take one for the team. Now, she is here tonight, so you better give her a round of applause for taking that one for the team, right? Thanks, babe. I love you. She took on, so she went off with the not-so-good-looking one and, like, downing margaritas, and I was like, you've got this, girl, you've got this. Love you. So we went off, and then I went off with the good-looking one, and I'd never spoken to an Irish guy before, right? And he kept saying to me, he's like, oh, let's have the crack. Let's have some crack. Sorry, I don't do crack cocaine, right? It's not what I'm into. And he's like, no, it's a saying in Ireland. Let's have some fun. Let's go skinny dipping. And I was like, oh. Well, we're really going to see a lot of crack then, aren't we? Yeah, 2 of them. So we ran out to the Mediterranean Sea, took off all our clothes, and then started, or at least attempted, to have sex. But no one tells you, no tour guide tells you that the Mediterranean Sea is salty as fuck. Yeah. So the only thing my vagina was useful for was being a salt grinder. Yeah. It was like... Anyone want some salt with their fish and chips? Yeah. Sprinkle that shit on like Salt Bay. It's free. It was painful, right? It was so painful. And then bless his cotton socks, because he was trying to, like, guys will do anything to get laid. Anything, right? And then he was, like, wading in the water. He's like, all right, what do we do? What do we do? He's like, okay, what do we, okay. He's like, okay, problem solving. Like, okay, what do we do? Okay, why don't we, wait, okay. Why don't we move to the sand? I just love to gauge the room right now, because everyone who's reacting is openly admitting to the room they've had sex on the beach, right? Because I said yes, because I was like, oh my God, sure, because like they romanticize it, right? There's a song, there's a cocktail. At least I didn't have to pay for a back exfoliation. That was nice. Saved myself $80. And then he was on top of me, right? He's going for it. And he's like, oh, you're so wet. And I'm like, dude, that's the sea. Irish guys. So it wasn't working. And I'm like, no, dude, get off me. Like, this is not working. And he's like, all right, okay, what do we do? Okay, why don't we move to the beach beds? Those beach beds? Yeah, it'll be fun, it'll be the crack. I'm like, yeah, we've come this far, we might as well, right? Because I'm in my 30s now, I don't give a shit anymore, right? So there I was, he's going for it. I'm there embracing my inner Canadian, like, oh yeah. 0 fucks given, right? I don't give a shit anymore, right? And as I was there, I remember I was looking out to like the beautiful moonlight shimmering across the water, and I was like, oh, this is so romantic. It's my story, guys, right? And obviously the sex was so great because I was looking at everything else but enjoying it. I was like, oh, that's nice moonlight, isn't it? Ladies, you know what I'm talking about. And then I saw something move from the corner of my eye, right? And I turn around and what do I see? A young 20-year-old girl walking past with nothing but utter disgust on her face. And she was looking at me with those eyes, you know, those eyes that were like, bitch. So I look back at her and I'm like, bitch. She's like, bitch. And I'm like, bitch. So I just yelled at her. I was like,